Okay, Lydia, what is this?
Okay.
We're live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Show and Tell. This is an extra special Show and Tell, only BFFs,
That's
and
right.
maybe later more FFs. Showing up today, we've got Phil, Tony, and Noah, Team Fruit, representing. We're going to show off some of their projects that they're working on that you will soon see on the Adafruit blog.
We also, as part of our show and tell here, we have an engineer, Mike.
Trust me, I'm an engineer.
Here, come in a little bit.
Okay.
So this is Mike.
It's okay. We're safe. We won't bite.
Mike is the author of Getting Started with Trinket, and a lot of people know Mike from the show and tell. So you're on the other side of the camera.
Yeah, it's great to be here and actually see all the workings.
Are we shorter in person than you expected?
You're more vibrant. I think my screen is not capturing the full color.
You have to like calibrate the colors. Okay, well let's get started with these fine folks. We'll go Noah and Pedro, Phil B, and then.
No, we're gonna start with Tony.
Sorry, Tony.
Yep.
Tony, and then.
Phil and Phil, Noah, and Pedro, and then Phil. There.
You call them people.
Yeah, I'll do it. All right, Tony, what you got cooking this week?
Hey, yeah. So this week I've been playing with a lot of temperature sensors. So like this little guy here, this is the TMP006 sensor, and it's a non-contact temperature sensor. I think it looks like the infrared heat that comes off of things. And it's real nice. Just communicates over the I2C interface. And there are a couple other sensors also that I looked at. The MCP9809, which is just a precision temperature sensor. It's basically just a little chip, and anything that touches it, it reads temperature of that. And then also a thermocouple, which is a really handy thing for measuring lots of different things. And I've gotten them to work with the Raspberry Pi and the BeagleBone Black. So there's nice little Python libraries that you can use for these. And I'll show you real quickly a couple demos that I've been put together here. So you can kind of see on the left here, this is a Raspberry Pi, just the Model B+, and right here is the thermocouple board, and so that's the Max 31855 thermocouple board, and a NeoPixel ring. So this is kind of showing off from last week, the NeoPixels on Raspberry Pi code. There's a guide in the learning system now that people can check out. So it's kind of cool. You can drive the NeoPixels directly with the Raspberry Pi using a library that Jeremy Garf wrote on GitHub. And so I'll show you as I touch the thermocouple here. Oh, it goes red. So it's kind of cool. There's basically a gradient of colors. So it goes more towards blue when it's kind of room temperature, like 70 degrees or so. And then when I touch it, it heats up and goes towards red. And it's a little tough to tell, I think, from
it's a vibrant pink.
Yeah, exactly right. So it's kind of a cool little gradient effect there. So it's real simple to use a sensor. It just uses I2C, so it's really easy to read it. And the Python library is really straightforward and simple to use. You basically just call a function that gives you back the temperature in Celsius. And then the other thing going on here, so this is a BeagleBone Black, and this has the MCP9809 sensor on the left. It's just a little chip that detects the temperature of it. And on the right is an OLED display, the SSD 1306 OLEDs. And so it's showing that's the temperature in Fahrenheit of the chip. So if I touch it and kind of give it a little bit more heat, you can kind of see, oh wow, we're almost up to 80. So kind of cool. And then if I take my hand off, it'll fall back down. And I really love these little OLED displays. Like, this is a perfect way to show really bright, it's like a single measurement. It's easily readable at night. I think these things are really cool. Like, you could build a neat little like sous vide machine maybe if you took the thermocouple and made a waterproof version of this and had like a nice little OLED display on it. And if you connect it to the Pi or the BeagleBone, you could put it on the internet and do some kind of crazy internet-controlled sous vide machine with it. So some really a lot of neat possibilities here just with all the different temperature sensors here. Oh, and I didn't show it, but this is that TMP006 sensor, and it works just like the other ones. So it's real simple, just a little Python library. You call an API and it gives you back the temperature.
All right. Perfect for people who want to add more. I mean, we have temperature sensors that work with the Pi now, but this is just expanding the options.
Yeah. Oop, Tony froze.
Well, he's cold.
He did his demo. His demo was perfectly timed. Oop,
I thought he actually was just changing out the camera. Maybe the camera crashed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's cool.
Well,
so yeah,
timing.
more Python libraries for BeagleBone and Pi.
Yeah.
We've been porting over all the great Arduino libraries to Python. The great thing about porting them to Python is that no matter what weird Linux embedded device we have in the future, it'll probably run Python. It'll probably run this. So, yeah.
I was going to ask Tony. Well, I was going to tease a little bit. Imagine if we had an online service coming soon where you could have real-time display of this information coming in from sensors.
That's not out yet. Don't ask.
Okay, sorry.
All right. Next up.
We'll say hi to Tony if he comes back.
Philby, Noah, Pedro, Philby, who do you want?
Hey Phil, you got your thing ready?
I could. Actually, I had a question. Do you think you might have, because you started the show and tell as an Adafruit group, do you think that might be like locking others out? Do you think that could be?
No, there's like viewers and stuff. We have some
we
viewers.
have plenty of viewers, and we have plenty of show and tell.
People are just threatened by your...
Okay.
No, that's a good... You can invite multiple groups. I mean, like, if this happens 2 weeks in a row, yeah, it might be that.
Yeah. Okay.
If it happens...
Yeah, I had to... Anyway, there was a project that Lamar said, no, don't work on that right now. So I had to go try it out anyway, make a proof of concept.
Yeah, you're really... I'm trying to save you from frustration.
Yeah, I know. No. Because I was really curious, and Becky mentioned the very same subject earlier today on her wearables thing. Is like 20 times a day, like someone will ask me, like, "Hey Phil, like that Wrecking Crew dance thing with the synchronized costumes, how can I do that?" And usually it's just like, "No, don't. Just, that's hardcore stuff." But I had this idea using Fade Candy and Raspberry Pi and Wi-Fi. It's like, I wonder if that works or not. And I thought it would work, but I actually put something together. It's not much to look at right now, but you can see there's 2 NeoPixel strips behind me here. Each of those is on a separate Raspberry Pi off a separate battery. You can move them to opposite sides of the house if you want to, and they're showing animation synchronized between the 2 of them. So you could do... It's being controlled by a third computer. My desktop machine right now is where the animation's coming from. And it all stays in sync. I thought there might be like horrible latency or something, but it looks like something like that, could be done. So that answered my question, and that's kind of all I wanted to play with it right now. But,
yeah, we could eventually do some project that, has... just the wearable part is tough, but maybe we'll have something with like cubes, and the cubes have like... a display, and then as they move, you can have the you can have the Fade Candy. We configure it or something.
Absolutely, yeah. It doesn't.
It's just once you say like strap it to a jacket, that I'm like, oh god, like that sucks.
Yeah. So the idea isn't necessarily wearable. I was just curious. Can you synchronize these physically separate things and have them doing some uniform animation across the set?
Yeah.
And well, there we go.
You have 2 Raspberry Pis, and they can both connect to the Fade Candy server. How do they know? Does it have an ID number? How does it know to divide the work between the 2?
Just a slight change in the processing code that's rendering the animation. So there's like a particle system animation on my screen right now, and instead of normally you create one OPC object and you set up the locations of the pixels. Right now I have 2 OPC objects. If I had more Fade Candies, I could have, a whole bunch of these things. And once that's set up, and then it just goes into the draw loop, and it's hands-off at that point. It is automatically pushing the data to all the right Fade Candies on the separate Raspberry Pis.
All right.
So that made me happy. It's like, okay, that can be done. Okay.
All right. Nice work. I don't know.
Okay.
Does it work out? We'll think of a good project to have that be for the tutorial. That's not.
Yeah, it's a comeback to later. At least I know.
Now you know it works. So people ask, you could say, hey, like I know that you can do it. Here are some tips.
Yeah.
With Fade Candies, because even though it's a little bit more expensive than like EL wire, you get to use Wi-Fi, which is like a solid. Well.
You're not reinventing all these different wheels.
No, that's like, okay, so then I got 5 XPs, and I'm like, wow, you're so screwed. Okay, thank you for the demo.
And I think on a programming note for our internal team, I think I will try a separate hangout next week right at 7 on the dot, and then we'll end it at 7:45, and then we'll do the show and tell, because I don't know if Google allows, because our circles are pretty big, so the team circle and the show and tell circle might be too big to allow multiple invites, because there's a limit of number of people you can invite. but I don't know. I think I'm going to do that because that'll eliminate a variable. And that's what we do here, science.
Yeah, it's only, nobody have more people. It's okay. Maybe we have like 1 week that's super chill. Okay,
Yeah.
and then Noah and Pedro want to
Pedro, what you got?
about your thing?
Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Get ready for another 3 Thursday. In the back, we are shooting some assembly photos and hero shots for an upcoming project. Oh my god, he's putting it on. Give him a second.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, this is great.
What?
Darth Vader, sci-fi movie, gas mask.
Sure, this is great for anyone who wants to kind of combine 3D printing and DIY electronics. We got a lot of shiny stuff going on there. EL wire, a laser diode, and of course NeoPixel rings. Pretty challenging thing to design, something that goes on your face like that, but it fits on the replicator too, so most people will be able to print it, and be watching for that. But also in the works. We're doing some collaboration work with X Robots' Jane Bruton. So this is the chest piece that'll be mounted onto the ginormous Iron Man-inspired Hulkbuster suit. Yeah, it's like the Unibeam. Just, don't look directly into it. It's very bright.
And the Hulkbuster is a suit that you wear if you're going to beat up the Incredible Hulk.
Exactly.
I just want to make sure.
Well, and then this week, we're really excited to sort of debut this project. It's a collaboration with Becky Stern. She put together this really challenging wearable cosplay. So this is Cortana from Halo. Yeah, so we got LEDs inside of stretchable material. I'm going to take a look at how we made some body-sized traces to make the 3D printed stencils to make the detail on the artwork there. And we'll show that tomorrow on our 3D Thursday show. Yeah, so we looked.
What's cool is you have other friends with Halo costumes that you can get together.
Yeah.
Hey, come over with your Halo costume. We're
They
gonna.
planned it. Yeah, no, it's our next door neighbor. She's like one of those hardcore gamers, the mom that everybody wishes they had. She kind of inspired the project. She's a big fan, and Cortana just seemed to be one of those challenging projects that we could take on. Yeah, it looks like everybody's done it.
You're the best neighbor. You make costumes for each other. That's
Yeah.
sweet.
So I had a question for you guys. You saw the announcement today. Dremel has a 3D printer. What do you think?
I think that's awesome to
it's
see
mainstream,
like a well-known brand, so iconic. It's like saying the hammer.
Yeah.
I think they know a thing or two about manufacturing and making products for people that build things, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it was neat. They announced it. They did it at MakerCon that's going on today and tomorrow. And they had everything lined up. They had a great photo. The site was ready to go. They have distribution with Amazon and Home Depot. They did things like, well, you have a place to upload your files from the start. So they have their own, Thingiverse-like thing. And I think they did some type of partnership with Autodesk. I think.
I remember hearing that, yeah. I mean, that's the way to go if you want to release anything like that. Partner up with the leaders in the software. That's
Design
making
software.
those. Yeah,
It's
everybody always
free.
forgets about the software. Yeah, that's how you make everything you print. Because after a certain while, you'll be tired of printing other people's designs.
Yeah. So I think it'll be interesting. Exactly what you said, iconic brand. Like seeing the word Dremel on the side of a 3D printer makes total sense. As soon as you see that, you're like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, like instead of dremeling something out, you Dremel something up
Yeah.
or something.
I have one of those.
It's one of those ones where there's already been kind of fake parody photoshops of this, but the Play-Doh factory. Everyone said Play-Doh should have a 3D printer by now. And if it came out, I'd be like, oh, of course. But this is one of those things where it makes total sense. So we'll see. We might see if this is a good printer. We'll see if we can get wholesale pricing, and we'll sell them at Adafruit.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm sure they get good deals on materials.
Yeah, exactly. The next 3D printer we're going to be stocking soon is the DeltaBot.
Wow. Sweet.
So that'll be, yeah.
Man.
They just look cool. I don't even really know if they. You guys told me they work great, and Matt told me they work great.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't care. They look cool.
Yeah, it's totally, it's a cool design. I like the design of the Delta bots. If I was going to build one from scratch, I would build a Delta bot. It seems to me also a little easier to build, but maybe harder to use.
Yeah.
But everybody understands the linear ones. Nobody understands how the three things
That's because
make...
they're not engineers. Engineers are like, well, of course it has to be done in radians. Well, what else do you use?
Well, it should be concentric infill really good.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I also like there was a video I saw today where it's a robot that with wheels and it runs around and it puts down 3D printing layers.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just like they're like, well, like look, we'll do it this way.
I'm sure we'll see buildings in the future. Actually, with drones, probably.
Yeah, we could do it with drones. All right, guys. Well, thank you, and we'll see everyone next week. We do the show and tell every single week. It's on plus.google.com.
/plus and belated fruit.
Plus and belated fruit. And 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All participants in the show and tell get an Ask Team on the show and tell sticker. Oh, you know what you get to do in the Ask an Engineer section? You say, oh, these are our regulars, Adafruit staff members, and we can spend more time with Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
It's hard when we have a guest on the show because the shows are getting so jam-packed because we have so many new products and features.
We have 50 new products this week. We didn't do new products last week.
And every week in the comments, someone posts, how come that guy keeps telling that lady to go faster? Who's that guy? She should slow down and describe each product slower. It's like 8:49 and we have like 20 more to go.
It takes a long time to talk about each thing and all the specs.
Yeah. And you have one question. I mean, you say, okay, here's the question.
Why did you use I2C with that? Oh, okay. And then, all right. So, okay.
Thanks,
well, thank you, Tony. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Noah and Pedro. We'll see you guys tomorrow on 3D Hangouts with Matt, Noah, and Pedro. We also have a really cool graphic going up on the homepage tomorrow that you guys will see. We're doing these. They're called living images. So you'll see that it's the bodysuit project that you have is this beautiful image, and then the LEDs are doing stuff. So that'll be.
But it's not like a full animated GIF. It only animates the part that's moving, so it doesn't take like 5 minutes to load.
Yeah, you'll see it's really cool. And we have the helmet too, the LED helmet.
Very cool.
All right, so we'll see everybody on Ask an Engineer, and we'll see you guys next week.
5 minutes, 10 minutes. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.